You know, it really speaks volumes about the sad and pathetic state of the video game industry when one of the most anticipated games of September 2021 is that crybaby emo girl simulator known as Life is Strange. I mean, there are some shitty games in the world, folks, but Life is Strange takes the cake for being the worst video game that I have had the displeasure of playing. It not only made me dumber, but it attempted to invoke emotion out of me that simply did not exist in the first place. I mean, you can see this chronicled throughout the entire series between Life is Strange with its shitty and unlikable protagonist Max to its unnecessary sequel Life is Strange Before the Storm, Life is Strange 2, cementing the fact that Square Enix does not give a single solitary fuck about quality or preserving their shitty franchise in its horrible, deplorable state, but rather we need to milk it for what few fans there are and drain their wallets. Then we had that stupid ass little knockoff free game, The Adventures of Captain Irrelevancy or whatever the fuck it was, because nobody played that shit. Nobody gives a fuck about Life is Strange. And now we have Life is Strange True Colors. Let me spoil what's going to happen for you. This game will cement and establish Life is Strange as the biggest failure of a video game, of an entertainment product in general, and of creation that the world has ever seen. This game will single-handedly ruin the video game industry if it succeeds, and that is why it has become my personal mission to see fit and see to it that this game is thoroughly boycotted and prevented from ever hitting store shelves. I mean, you look at Life is Strange, besides the fact that its sappy teenage drama is devoid of even the most basic narrative concepts to evoke emotion from the player, the writing team was clearly smoking crack because they couldn't craft a creative and likable protagonist to save their lives. I actively went out of my way to pick the worst decision for every single protagonist this sad, pathetic series has ever produced, just so I could see them suffer. Because I had no attachment, no empathy, and no emotion towards them other than this horrible disdain that they were so unlikable. I needed to go out of my way to punish their lives and make their lives a living hell to the best ability that the developer chose to bestow upon me. And as that, the game doesn't even really do that well because all the choices lead to the same path. There's only minor variations in the endings. When you think you're presented with a big choice of A or B that's going to have catastrophic, irreversible consequences, you end up with minor dialogue differences. You know, there's another developer, quote-unquote acclaimed developer, who actually won that trash paid-off Game of the Year award, who predicated their entire gameplay on quote-unquote player choice, Telltale Games, and their dumbasses went bankrupt because players started to see through the lie that they concocted and spun in the media that their choices actually mattered in the games. We can only hope the same happens to Square Enix. This is a company that's been on live support for the last 20 years from those crybaby nerds who worship Final Fantasy and everything that shitty franchise stands for. But it's time to pull the plug, folks. Square Enix hasn't been relevant in a long time, and at this point, this is just straight up fraud. They're concocting a game that promotes quote-unquote player choice and player agency and the ability to define your own story path through this narrative-rich game. There's nothing rich about the narrative. The only thing rich here is the CEOs at Square Enix sitting back on their lazy fat asses watching more zeros get added to their bank accounts as you continue to pour money into this failing company. Don't fund bullshit like this. If allowed to succeed, this game will ruin the gaming industry. Luckily, the prophet and the shepherd Dead Metal himself is here to prevent that. I am organizing the first and the formal Life is Strange True Colors boycott, because the only thing true here are my words. There's nothing true about the colors, nor the gameplay, nor the marketing of Life is Strange True Colors. I will single-handedly end this game, but I need your help to do it. We need to spam this video on social media. We need to send this to Square Enix to let them know we will not accept their shitty product in exchange for our hard-earned dollar. That if they want to earn our respect back, we want to see actual effort in their games. We want to see actual consequences for our choice. And we want to see actual action taken as a result of the hashtag Life is Strange True Colors boycott. And I'm not stopping at a boycott. I'm thinking of making Fuck Life is Strange t-shirts. I'm thinking about producing an A&E documentary on exactly why Life is Strange is the most egregious and offensive and bullshit game to ever grace God's green earth, and why its creation and releasing was the absolute low point for humanity. If you want to see me produce this biography, give me a comment. Let me know you're interested. But for the time being, let's get the fucking Life is Strange boycott going. Let's wake these fangirls up to the fact that their quote-unquote favorite game that just represents everything they love is a crock of shit. They're being lied to by scumbag developers, and Square Enix is about to fold.